right, so we asking a couple questions real quick. Do you think minors should have parental approval to be on social media? That's first and foremost. We also asking, do you think male to female transgender should be able to compete at a high level in track and field? Also, do you think the prices for these Drake tickets are too damn high? Or am I just broke? We gonna talk about all that and more, starting with Pop Tops. You kicking it with KC, baby. Yeah, man. Come on, man. Let's do this. Popular topics. Pop Tops that you may or may not have heard in the news by yours truly, KCMC. First highlighting this first story coming from apnews.com, the Associated Press. Utah Governor Spencer Cox signed 2 new laws that restrict use of social media by children under 18 between the hours of 10:30 and 6:30 a.m. 10:30 p.m. and 6:30 a.m. And it's going to require age verification for social media users in that state to prove that you are at least 18 years or older to use it. Now, whoa, this is crazy. How the heck, how is one state out of the entire country going to be able to stop a social media platform and the users from unrestricted use on the internet? That seems very complicated, right? They talking about age verification. What we talking about here? People gonna have to upload their ID, birth certificate, social security card. We're not doing all that. That's doing too much for social media, even though it's free. Or is it? See, we also talking about the fact that the laws included in this will allow lawsuits to be brought by children claiming harm caused by social media. And lawsuits specifically is talking about children 16 and under. It's going to shift the burden of proof from the parents or the children, and it's going to shift it to the companies. What that means is, if you say, my child is so addicted to TikTok, Snapchat, Instagram, that they don't even have social skills, they don't know how to socialize, they fear of talking to other people, and they have body issues, self-image issues, it's all because of social media. If you went to court for that, you would have to prove that the social media apps are doing that to your child. The burden of proof would be on you as the parent or as the child. But now, with this law going into effect, it would shift the burden of proof to the social media companies. They would have to prove that their app is not harmful, which is probably a lot more hard. If you ask me, it's a lot more hard because there's going to be a lot more cases of teenagers saying that it's harming them. But anyway, I digress. The point is, the companies are expected to sue. Social media companies are expected to sue before the law takes effect next year, March 2024. What the companies are arguing, and this is heavy, they're arguing that it infringes on people's First Amendment rights and could put children's privacy at risk. I want to focus on this, because I feel like, do children need First Amendment rights? I don't think children need First Amendment rights. If you're a minor, you shouldn't have First Amendment rights. Here's why: because you can do damage with your words. It's been proven. Adults have been sued for things that they say. So are children going to be sued and face the consequences the same just because you're giving them First Amendment rights like you would an adult, a tax-paying adult? This is why they shouldn't have that, because who are you going to charge if they say something that's going to detriment somebody? The parents? Is that fair? I think so, but what do you think? Then let's talk about children's privacy. Children don't need privacy. They should feel like they have privacy. That's like when you playing a game and your sibling or a little kid want to play the game with you, you don't give them an actual controller. You give them a controller to make them think that they playing. You give them the illusion. You don't give them actual privacy. You still watch and keep an eye on. This is how online predator situations happen, which I don't want to talk about. I think parents should always have access, but they're saying that's a concern also. They don't want parents to have access to children's social media. The only reason I can see that being a sticky situation is because how the heck are you going to prove that you are this child's parent on social media? They already have laws where they say it's the Children's Online Privacy Act, which prohibits companies, social media companies, from collecting data on children under 13, which is why social media companies already say, if you ain't 13 or over, we don't even want you on here. We ain't even trying to go through the trouble. So if you ain't at least 13 or older, we don't want you in here. Even though we all know kids be younger than 13 on social media. Some of these parents create social media pages for them soon as they born and let them grow up and eventually take it over at the age of 12. You see what I'm saying? So none of this, that part of proving that you're the parent and then the parent already letting the kids on social media, that part is kind of dumb to me. But the parents should have access to the children's accounts. I believe that 100%. Let me know what you think though. But specifically in Utah, a state that the NBA didn't even want to be there for real and host the All-Star game. I didn't even watch the All-Star game, but I heard the cameraman was putting the camera in the box before the fourth quarter was up. They were so ready to leave. But anyway, to give another example, Governor Cox of Utah signed legislation that he asked all technology companies to automatically block adult films on cell phones and tablets that are sold in the state of Utah. The governor signed this. He felt like, amongst with other Utah lawmakers, they felt like porn posed a danger to children and they found that it had long-term effects and dangers on children. This is what they believe, right? Now, majority of the lawmakers in Utah are members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. So they all have that same mindset. That's why laws like that get passed. But they actually didn't pass that law about blocking the XXX movies. They said they revised the legislation to prevent it from taking effect unless 5 other states pass that same law. Ain't nobody about to pass that law, bro. That's dumb. But the point is, how is Utah going to control this social media thing and not let minors on there without parental permission? Especially in Utah. What if you live on the border of Utah in a state that's right next to Utah? What if you right next to Utah and Nevada? Or what if you're traveling through states, you're supposed to be on social media, and then it's supposed to cut off, make you prove, and then as soon as you get out of Utah, you good again? That don't even make sense. It probably sounds good as an idea or a concept, but how you gonna execute that? That's the bugs they still got to work out. But let me know what you think overall. Should children need permission from their parents to be on social media? Go off in the live chat in the comments or call into the show, 313-466-4386. Check this out. We talking about this other story coming from NBCnews.com. The World Athletics Council banned transgender athletes who have transitioned from male to female specifically and has gone through male puberty. Basically mean, they hit some type of adulthood, preteens, teenagers, whatever the case may be. They can't participate in international competition. I think because there are no current transgender male to female athletes participating at a high level internationally, none right now. This is a preemptive strike by the World Athletics Council. They're just saying, we want to level the playing field right now because we're already seeing these situations in other countries. I 100% agree. It's not fair for a man to just decide he want to be a female or get some other type of cosmetic surgery to become a female, but you still have all the testosterone as a male, all the physique of a male, and you were born a male. I think that part is unfair. They're saying the World Athletics Council adopted the same rules as swimming did last year that could prevent athletes with differences in sex development from competing. This is where it gets tricky because differences in sex development, DSD, this is an illness, a rare illness or something like, I don't know if you want to consider it rare, but this is where some women are born women with women parts, breast, vagina, but at the same time, they have a little bit more testosterone than the average woman in their blood. So they have some male features. And the World Athletic Council feels like this gives them an unfair advantage. You would think that, but I don't think that's fair. If they are born women, they are women. They are women who has a man, has a family. You know what I'm saying? Claim to be a woman. But you're saying they can't participate because they have high testosterone levels that they were born with. I think that's unfair. More specifically, let's make it a little bit more fun and interesting. Let's make it about race, ladies and gentlemen, because we're talking about A few players that this would include, right? The differences in sex development players, DSD players, including two-time Olympic champion Caster Semenya and up to 12 other high-level runners. We're talking about Dutty Chan from India, Margaret Wambu from Kenya, Annette Nagesa from Uganda, Francine Niyasamba from Burundi, Eunice Sam from Kenya, and then you got 3 white Russian players. So out of all of these players, the majority are black and from African countries or Middle Eastern countries. Fair-skinned, dark-skinned women who just have male-like features. If you look at them, yeah, they some manly-looking women. I ain't gonna lie. They look like the women from that episode of Futurama when they went to that planet with all them big buff-ass women. Yeah, for real. But they are literally natural women, natural-born women. Just have a little bit more testosterone. Let them compete. If you want to go from male to female, you're really cheating in trying to beat the odds, bro. That's the thing that I don't necessarily agree with. So they're testing blood levels, seeing how much testosterone you have in your blood, and they're rating it off at a certain point. If you have this much, which I didn't put the exact point, you have this much or more testosterone, you can't compete in certain events too. Completely unfair. Make a difference between transgender and DSD athletes and let them compete. That's what I think. Let me know what you think. Go off in the live chat in the comments or call into the show. 313-466-4386. We talking about this last topic real quick. Drake! These tickets. It's all a Blur tour. This is coming from hotnewhiphop.com. Now, Ticketmaster, who's really the main ticket holder for this tour and most tours, they're facing a class action lawsuit for Drake and 21 Savage's It's All a Blur tour from a Montreal-based law firm, LPC Avocat, for allegedly hiding the announcement of a second show. Now, what happened was in Canada, there was a person who bought tickets to the Drake show, I believe specifically in Montreal. He bought tickets. The tickets were like $800 a piece for a show on July 14th. He said like a day or two later, they announced the second show, literally the next day on July 15th. And the tickets were $350 cheaper. He said, oh, hell no. I'm about to sue y'all. And that's what brought up this case right here. It's another situation where they're saying that Ticketmaster is overpricing their official platinum seats because they just turned out to be general admission. Nothing special about them at all. They just overpriced. So a lot of people are upset. They're saying some of the mid-level seats prices for these Drake concerts, $1,000 and up. Now I was like, I'm just reading this story. My girl want to go see Drake in Detroit. I'm like, all right. I look up the prices. Not too bad, I guess. Between $300 and $1,000, depending on where you want to sit. July 8th, Saturday through July 9th. He got 2 shows in Detroit too now. At first it was just July 8th. Now he got another one. So just imagine the people that did the same thing in Detroit. Bought these expensive ass tickets for the first show, and then they dropped the second show later on with tickets slightly cheaper. You see what I'm saying? I think that's completely unfair also. So yes, they need to be brought up on these charges. They're doing the same thing, or it's a similar class action lawsuit with the Taylor Swift concert. They said they overpriced those and had the resale market overpricing. Completely unfair. Now there's an investigation by the U.S. Senate going into Ticketmaster in this whole situation. The class action lawsuit is asking Ticketmaster to not only pay back the price difference, but they want them to pay everybody that bought a ticket $300 for damages. I said, damn, let me hurry up and get these Drake tickets. That's basically like a mail-in rebate. I want that, bro. I ain't gonna lie, bro. I ain't gonna lie. Listen, this is the question I want to ask. Are live concerts and shows really overpriced? Or are they really a high-value experience that deserves a high price? Walk with me. I was outside for Summer 16. I was there in Detroit when Drake came with Future. Me and my boys went. One of the best experiences I've ever went to. Now, not the best concert ever, but one of the best concerts. One of. It was one of the two top artists in hip hop still to this day, Future and Drake. Now back then, I'm saying back then, this is summer 16. I think we paid maybe like $350, $375 at most for them tickets. And we had decent seats, like really good seats. We weren't in the nosebleed, but we wasn't like, front row. And this is when they didn't have the 3D stage that they have now. Nowadays, I looked at these concert tickets. They have a 3D stage in the middle of the court, where the court would be for the Pistons. If you want like middle seats, right in the middle, like where center court would be to see the stage, that's $900. That's at least $1,000 right there. Floor seats though, where you can be on the floor looking up at the stage right there, those are at least $700. Not bad, but standing room only. You got to stand up the whole time for $700. Boy, I'm about to bring a lawn chair up in here. Y'all got me messed up. $700 to stand up on the floor. I better be able to feel something that he throw out there. Pause. He got a bottle of water. He's swinging it. I want to get wet. Pause. But anyway, do you feel like these concert tickets are overpriced? Beyonce, another one. Taylor Swift, like we said. Drake. There's a few of these top performing artists specifically. You're going to have to pay at least $1,000 to get up in the building if you want some decent seats. Let me know what you think. Go off in the live chat in the comments or call into the show. 313-466-4386. Let's switch, baby. We're going to talk about music and the audio audit. Let me drink some. Yeah, so I listened to two R&B projects. I'm going to tell you which one I liked the most at the end. It was August Alsina and Music Soul Child. Starting with August Alsina. He got a project called Myself. I listened to this on YouTube Music. No endorsement. So it was 10 tracks, 26 minutes. Now, I usually like my projects, my audio music projects to be between 30 and 45 minutes. I feel like it's not too short so that I don't take it like it's just a little throwaway project. And it's not too long that I don't get bored. 30 and 45 minutes. This was 26, so right below that. So I'm like, all right, maybe it's something he just threw out there. But out of 10 tracks, I don't know about any hit songs he got on the radio, especially with Power 96.5 WQHH Lansing. But what I will say is he got two songs that stood out to me. One was called Weekdays featuring Zoo and Dino. Beat was fire. Beat was hard. I would like to go off that beat. Pause. But at the same time, the lyrics, the hook were mid. I ain't gonna say trash, it was mid at best. Reggie. Then another song called Friends featuring 4 a.m. It had the same melody as Do Your Chain Hang Low, do it. Like the ice cream song, it was like, do you really have friends? And it was actually pretty nice. I ain't gonna lie. I was moving to it. I was bopping. Two tracks though that stood out to me that I was like, all right, cool. This is pretty nice. 2 out of 10, 20%. Not too bad. If you ask me, from an artist and a project I didn't expect it like nothing from. But shout out to August Alsina. I'll give him that as an artist, objectively speaking. Moving on. Let me know what you think, first of all, about August Alsina as an artist. And let me know what you think about Myself, his recent project that came out if you listen to it. Then I got to tell you about this other project I listened to from Music Soul Child. It was called Victims and Villains. Listen to it on YouTube Music, no endorsement. This project featured Hit Boy. Hit Boy is a producer, beatmaker. Hit Boy made the projects with Nas, King's Disease 1, 2, and 3. King's Disease 2 that Nas and him won a Grammy for. But I was expecting, with that being said, Hit Boy being on here, I was expecting some fire. Not gonna lie, at least some fire beats. 10 tracks, 37 minutes, within my project duration that I feel like I should take serious. I'm like, all right, Music Soul Child legendary. Listen to it, wasn't impressed at all. No song stood out to me at all. I'm talking about not even the beats stood out to me. I'm like, what is Hit Boy doing? What is this? I just wasn't feeling. Maybe I'm in a different point in my life. Maybe he's making different music, which is fine. All of which is fine. But nothing stood out to me today at this age and this point in my life. Slightly disappointed, I'm not gonna lie, and I listened to it twice. It's a quick listen, 37 minutes. So I don't know, but maybe I'm missing something. But between August Alsina and Music Soul Child, I like August Alsina's project more. That's just what I think. Let me know what you think. Go off in the live chat in the comments or call into the show. 313-466-4386. Go ahead and switch it up on them, man. Let's talk about sports, baby. From the stands of a sports fan, my man's Pots and Pans. Starting off with boxing. Now, Roy Jones Jr. was supposed to be fighting Anthony Pettis, former UFC fighter, April 1st. I don't know if that's really even happening. It's an exhibition fight. Are we really taking it serious? Do we really want to see Roy Jones Jr. fight? And it's not about to be a knockout involved. They just doing it for the money. I don't like those type of fights. When people be like, man, I ain't mad at Floyd, get the money. I'm like, is you getting some of his money? Why do you care about him putting on a fight that's going to cost you that he's not even taking serious? Like, serious enough to really try to knock somebody out. I'm not with it, bro. So, anyway, Roy Jones Jr., yeah, get your money. That's good for you and your family. But that don't benefit the fans. We don't want to see that. The real big fight of the year everybody want to see is, Gervonta Tank Davis versus Ryan Garcia, April 22nd. My girl want to see that. I want to see that. We going to pay to see it, or we going to go somewhere to see it. Probably Chicago. But that's the big fight. I'm expecting to see a knockout there. I'm tired of watching fights or paying for fights and not seeing a knockout. I want to see that. Last one I saw was the Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder. I'll give him that. And that's heavyweight, so I like that. Speaking of Tyson Fury, though, he was supposed to have a fight with Alexander Usyk April 29th. Turns out the lie detector test, that was a lie. That was canceled, postponed, whatever the case may be. I don't know why, but Tyson Fury is talking mess to Usyk now. Who cares? I want to see another heavyweight boxing fight. That's what we all here for. But let me know what your predictions are in regards to those fights. Go off in the live chat in the comments or call into the show, 313-466-4386. We switching up to sports real quick. We're going to talk about college basketball. March Madness going on right now, men's and women's. We talking about men's. All right, we're going to be biased. It's the Elite Eight going on today. Today, the Elite Eight starts. You got FAU versus Kansas State, UConn versus Gonzaga, San Diego State versus Creighton, and then University of Miami versus Texas. Those are your Elite Eight right now. It's going to go down to the Final Four. Final Four going to be April 1st. But a lot of upsets. Michigan State lost to Kansas State. My dear Michigan State, they took the L. They made it farther than I anticipated. They got to the Sweet 16. All right, cool, whatever that means. But the point is, they got farther than I expected. Congratulations. Shout out to Tom Izzo, Michigan State. But out of these teams, what are my predictions? I know I can't do this, but I'm going to do three since I ain't got no horse in the race. Either UConn or Gonzaga. Obviously, it's going to have to be one of them, but out of both of them, just one. But I think whoever wins this can probably win the whole thing. Or University of Miami, the Hurricanes. Only because I saw either a magazine or a social media post with they starting five and it said, don't count on us as the headline or count us out or something. Basically saying they don't want you to start believing in them now. Keep saying that they ain't nothing, they ain't gonna go no far. Keep not believing in them. And I just glanced over it and breezed by it, but now that I see them in the Elite Eight with a chance to go to the Final Four, you gotta take them boys serious. I can't name nobody in college right now, but you know, shout out to them boys, man. And I ain't watched no college basketball this season. That's the crazy stuff. But anyway, transitioning over to NFL real quick. Tom Brady has some ownership interest in the Las Vegas Aces, WNBA team, who was formerly the Utah Stars. Then they were the San Antonio Silver Stars. Then they just turned into the San Antonio Stars. Then they went to the Las Vegas Aces, and they won their first championship just last year, 2022. Shout out to the Las Vegas Aces. Tom Brady getting a little bit of money out of that. Who cares? A white boy, professional athlete, millionaire, already getting money, about to get more money. Why am I even talking about this? We about to switch it up, talk about the NBA real quick. We getting closer to the playoffs. It's a couple key stories I want to talk about. First and foremost, Ja Morant returning back to action, scored 17 points off the bench during the Grizzlies win at home, 130 to 125. 130 to 125. We're going to talk about that high-ass score later. They beat the Houston Rockets. This was on Wednesday, March 22nd, by the way. Paul George By the way, John Moran, he was suspended, for a couple games. He brandished the gun on social media in Denver, Colorado, after a game in a state where you can legally have a gun. But anyway, Paul George injured his right knee when they played the OKC Thunder. They say he gonna miss the beginning of the playoffs. Now, he played for the Clippers right now. Clippers are in a good position in the playoffs. They're in the top 5 in the West right now. I will say that. Now, they end the regular season April 9th at Phoenix. And then 6 days later, they could possibly play Phoenix in a 7-game series. They're possibly facing Phoenix in the playoffs. So to end the season there and then go straight to him, you got Paul George coming off an injury. He gonna have to go straight into high speed mode to contribute. Clippers need all the manpower they can get. Who they got? Russ, Kawhi, Paul George, couple other players. I can't even name the players. They've been doing so much switching now. But the point is, I want Russ to get a Russell Westbrook. I want him to get a ring. This is his best chance at this point. So go ahead, Paul George, get it together. Clippers, get it together, and y'all do that. Now let's talk about Julius Randle scoring 57 points against the Timberwolves. He's the Knicks' first all-star big man in franchise history to score 50-plus points in at least 9 years, since 2014. Big man scoring 57, putting up 57 against the Timberwolves. Congratulations, Julius Randle. Let's talk about this, though. A total of 23 50-point-plus games from NBA players in the 2022-2023 season. This is about to break a record for the highest rate of 50-point games since the 1965-66 season, when there was only 1 out of 40 games that somebody would score 50 or more points. That's basically only 2 times a year that would happen. Nowadays, you got Julius Randle, Steph Curry, Damian Lillard, Donovan Mitchell, Luka Doncic. You got so many players scoring 50 points so often. We had 23 this season alone. It's a different ball game. It's a different flow. Everything is different, B. Like they're calling more fouls. Excuse me. It's less physicality, more fouls being called, and a lot more threes. Not only threes, people are coming down the court and shooting it at the half-point mark and banking it like it's a free throw at this point. It's crazy to see in my lifetime. Not only that, but like I said, teams are scoring 150 points a game. We just talked about the Grizzlies and the Rockets scoring 130 and 125. This is the regular season. They ain't even playing hard for real. And they're scoring 130. In my lifetime, I remember when I was a kid watching games, excited to see a game go to 100. I was excited to see a triple digit on the scoreboard. That's why you didn't see players score 50-plus games like that. The game was going up to like 75, 80. Now you got a player scoring 50, they just score about 45, 40, 50% of that. Nowadays, they blooding it from half court and putting up 60 easily. And that's only half the points. Oh my God. It's a different ball game. You just got to learn to appreciate it. Do we want to see NBA games go up to 200 in the regular season? I don't know if I want to see regular NBA games in a couple hundred digits. I think we need to make some adjustments. That could be the old me talking. Let me know what you think. Go off in the live chat in the comments or call into the show. I do want to just really touch on the Eastern Conference and the Western Conference standings real quick. In the East, standing at number 5, New York Knicks. Number 4, Cleveland Cavs. Number 3, Philly 76ers. Number 2, Boston Celtics. Number 1, Milwaukee Bucks. In the West, number 5, Los Angeles Clippers. Number 4, Phoenix Suns. Number 3, clinching their first winning season since 2006, the Sacramento Kings. Number 2, the Memphis Tennessee Grizzlies, which I'm always asking, why is the Memphis Tennessee Grizzlies in the Western Conference? Always got to ask that. Then number 1 in the West, Denver Nuggets. It's going to be real interesting in the playoffs, man. We're looking forward to seeing it, man. But that's pretty much it. Let me know what your predictions are for the NBA Finals, NBA playoffs, whatever the case may be. Go off in the live chat in the comments or call into the show. 313-466-4386. Let's get up out of here, baby. But first, got to get something up off my chest. I hate when I go places and people who are buying alcohol or buying something that requires an ID act like they not entitled to have an ID. They act like they're the one person in the world who don't need to pull their ID out. They get up to the counter, line behind them, get some alcohol or something, and then have their money ready, or sometimes not even have their money ready. But the last thing they have ready is their ID. They say, "Oh, the clerk said, can I see ID?" They like, You don't know me? You don't know me? Or they say something, "I don't look old enough. I got grandkids." Bitch, if you don't just give them your ID so we can all get up out of here. I ain't saying bitch to a female. I'm just saying in general. You acting like a real BI. If you just come with your ID soon as you get to the counter, stop playing with me. We all got places to go. That's just me thinking out loud. Let me know what you think. Go off in the live chat in the comments or call into the show. 313-466-4386. We about to get up out of here. But first, I need you to do me a favor. Kick it with KCMC on all social media platforms. At KIWKCMC on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok, all that. KIWKCMC. That's just the abbreviations for Kick It with KCMC. And show some love to my sponsor, Team Elite. Show them love on their social media platforms also. At Team Elite 313. That's at TEAMELITE 313. And check out their premium urban-based athleisure wear. That's athletic leisure, athletic casual wear, t-shirts, sweatshirts, hoodies, tech fleece jogger sets, varsity sets, and more. It's all on their website, teamelite313.com. Ask your mom. Appreciate you for getting with KCMC on a real quick show. Had to redo this one real quick. Hey, but check this out, man. If you got this far in the show, do me a favor, man. Hit the like button. Show me some love. That's free. It's free to show support. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button also. I'm going to need that love. And also, if you like the show, donate to the show so we can grow. We appreciate that also, man. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Thank you for kicking with KCMC. We're going to get back to you later.